Alright, 3, 2, 1. Alright, hello, RPG Limit Break Games Committee. This is a showcase of one of my games. This is The World Ends With You. So a bit of background on this game. This is a relatively young DS game. Well, early DS game, I guess. It came out, I believe, 3 years into the DS's life cycle. And it's kind of one of the two biggest cult classics for the system that I can think of. The game is known for having a fantastic story, great music, and a really unique battle system that only would work on the DS. The speedrun uses some pretty varied strats, and the game's combat system is very dynamic, which allows for a really cool... there's always something happening. Each of the boss fights allows me to demonstrate different things about the game. You'll see in the beginning of the run, there's a slow build-up to what the most optimal strat is, or the generally considered most optimal strat. And then about halfway through that, we're going to take that strat and we're going to dial it to 11 by using pins that immediately knock our health down below halfway, in exchange for allowing us to do extra damage on each of our attacks. It's a high-risk, high-reward strat, but a speedrunner should be at a high enough level where they don't have an issue with that. So what I'm going to do with this, I don't quite have time to get a full submission run or run in before submission time is over. And this game is also very difficult in my hands, so I'm not 100% sure that I would be able to properly showcase this game by the time submissions are over. However, I do know the route and how to do the run. And the things you probably want to see are the boss fights themselves. If you want to see how the run itself would look as a full single segment run in a marathon, I highly recommend looking at eCast's world record video. It'll show kind of a bit more of the pacing. This is really just kind of the best parts speedrun, and while I understand that that's not necessarily fair for the submission process, it's the best I can do with what I have right now. To make this video go by a little bit faster, I'm going to be alternating between my English and Japanese cartridges, and while one cartridge is being used for a boss fight, the other one will be having the next save file injected into it using a device that I have basically specifically to practice for this game. It allows me to rip save files off and put them back on. This probably would not be coming with me to Limit Break, but it would still be pretty useful to show off. It's useful to practice, especially since this game has exactly one save file, and since it's a 5.5 hour run, it's a very difficult game to practice without it. This game also does not emulate well, so there's also that as well. I'm using a 3DS XL capture card right now. Potentially by the event I might switch to a DS Fat capture card because the D-pad is in a slightly better spot, which you'll see why that's important on some of the earlier fights. Combat in this game takes place on both screens at the same time, so you'll notice the layout for this is a bit difficult on my end. I'm not sure how that would be best remedied for the marathon, whether that's putting the two screens side by side, trying to put them diagonally like I have, just straight up stacking them and leaving some extra space for a larger webcam or some incentives or something. I'm not 100% sure how that works, but this is a game that I believe people would like to see done. Let's see if there's anything else I can think of. As a couple of incentives, the game is has to be a bit more creative on the incentives since the characters have names. I can do the run in English and Japanese, but I don't believe doing the run in Japanese is for the best. The Japanese cartridge is actually a much harder run, so I haven't done most of these fights in the Japanese copy of the game. So hopefully the extra difficulty doesn't come back to hurt me too badly here. I don't anticipate that really causing any issues for this. But on top of that, since there's so much story, I believe allowing the story to showcase itself would be important. Instead, I would like a couple of things, just having fun with the game and its soundtrack. There's also a mini game called Tin Pin Slammer that would be great to host a little mini side tournament where we could do like a top 4 on stream. The matches take about a minute each or something. So you could very easily do like a top 4 single elimination tournament on stream using my English and Japanese copy or a second English copy. Alright, with that, I'm going to let this timer tick off the last 10 seconds and I'm going to get started. Why? Alright, so right here, this is an early cutscene in the game. Get a polish Hachiko to find the monsters we need to kill. This is done on the touchscreen, pretty simple stuff. And we're going to get just a single mob leading into a boss fight.
Watch yourself.
Alright, so you can see already a little bit of the dual screen combat coming into effect. Star rank means that I did that fight very quickly. It took very little damage. So you can see the text speed in the game. That's actually one of the biggest detriments to this game is the speed run. I don't believe this would be a problem in a marathon setting since this story has a lot of nostalgia for people, but the text speed is slow enough where on any given run I can actually speed read the entire game story. Alright, so here is the first major boss, or first boss in the game. So you'll notice there's a green puck going between the top and bottom screens. Whenever you do a finisher, while your character has the puck, you get a multiplier on that pin's attack. The first boss goes down pretty quickly. So. Alright. So, we're going to swap cartridges. Subarashi Konosekai. So while that's booting, I need to take this PC to cart, practice 3, open. Alright. So that's a pretty simple boss. It's still in kind of the tutorial phase of the game. Nothing too exciting for sure. So now you'll notice I'm on my Japanese copy again. This is just to speed up so that while things are going on the... While I'm swapping cartridges, I can go ahead and move the save onto the other cartridge. The Japanese version is again slightly more difficult. This is a bat, a fight against a giant bat. The bottom screen is going to be pitch black, and I can't hurt the bat while it's doing that. Where is he? There we go. Again, you'll see me focusing on my puck passing, try to maximize my damage during each of these attacks. Pretty much a perfect fight. 32 seconds is very good there. PC to cart. This is practice 4. Sometimes you have to close the DS and reopen it to showcase. Alright, come on. There we go. File's already been transferred over. Got my phone beeped. Didn't see it. Oh well. Alright. Moving right along. Again, these early bosses are a lot quicker than most of the later ones are. Just by the nature of the game, they give you a lot of time to kind of get used to the controls and how the game plays before they really start ramping things up. I suppose I should mention this is a New Game run. New Game Plus would not be as interesting to watch, even though cutscenes could go by fast. Basically, you'd be so broken for the entire run that it would just be a very boring watch. I've looked into trying to create a file that has the trigger of a New Game Plus, but the equipment and level of a New Game file. But I'm not sure that would be a great way to showcase this run at a marathon, even if it is something that could theoretically happen in the future. Before this boss fight, there is a little mini mob fight.
Your good is gone.
So yeah, that's pretty representative of what a lot of the mob fights in this game look like.
Hey!
This is a pretty emotional point in the story of the game. One of your friends just lost his partner, which in the game is very bad. It means that he's almost certain to die in the near future. In the meantime, we're going to avenge his friend's death. So you'll notice I have a set of one of my biggest pins that I use a bunch is that ice attack. The reason is because even though it does single damage, it's very high. It does a very high on a single hit, which when factored in together with the multiplier from the puck, does way more damage than anything else in the game. And we're going to keep finding these high efficiency pucks, and eventually we're going to be focusing on using those pins for a majority of the run. See, again, relatively simple boss. The biggest thing there is you want to just keep him stun locked as much as possible. Alright. Let's pop in the next game. Wow, just loading. PC to cart. This should be practice 5. So this is the first boss that's actually somewhat dangerous. So you're going to see me jump my level up a little bit at the start of this. This is mostly for safety. Most likely at the actual event I will be doing this on a level 1 still. Later on we're going to be doing it at higher levels, but for now... Is it level 3 I put myself up to? Yeah, level 3. Oops. Okay. So again, a lot of these boss fights have a little mini mob leading into them. That's the Japanese version has slightly different music. So let's fight with a bear. Again, I'm at level 3 here because he has an attack that can very nearly one-shot me from full health if I'm at level 1. At level 3, I have enough HP to tank about 2 or 3 of them. A bit low on health, so I'm going to go ahead and use this to recover a little bit. It's a bit slow. Ideally, you don't use them very much at all. Except to reset phases or to heal if you take a bit too much damage. Getting very close to a kill. Okay, so that was a pretty mediocre fight. I could definitely have done that a bit better, but... if you look at the right side, that's my health bar is over there. Yeah, a B rank is pretty mediocre there. Later on, it gets much harder to get S ranks in a speedrun because we're going to end up very underleveled, and the last partner is the hardest to use effectively in a speedrun. Shiki and Joshua are your first 2 partners, and they are very good. This one is going to be Higashizawa, which is practice 6. So again, this is when the game starts to get a bit more difficult. I finally figured out a more consistent way of fighting this particular boss coming up. So this fight is taking place on the last day of one of the main events. Oh, I forgot to split.
You're good as gone.
The hardest part about this boss is that he is a really big troll. So, again, little mini mob to kind of test the waters a little bit, and then we're going to get right into the boss fight here. Again, you see me focusing on moving that puck right now. Thing's hitbox is really weird. You'll see me miss a lot in this fight. I missed here. This fight just has bad hitboxes. Okay. Pretty bad, but the target time for this fight is about 2 minutes, so there's actually about 40 seconds of leeway from my best fight to the minimum acceptable time. Yeah, 157. So that's under the minimum for being an okay fight, but it can go much better than that. So swapping cartridges again. Next save is practice 8, I believe. No, it's practice 7. Go ahead and close the DS and reopen it. Yeah, sometimes that makes it recognize the new cartridge faster. Practice 7. Transfer that onto to the cartridge. So this is actually one of a fight that I used to struggle on a lot. I recently practiced it up and got to an acceptable point. This is the first, or the last fight you do with Shiki as your main partner. This game is broken down into 3 in-game weeks. This is the boss for the end of the first week. Again, you'll see me focus on getting that puck pass so you can get that multiplier up as high as possible. Alright, so I'm at level 5 now, so I'm going to start focusing on my heavy hitter, which is a pin called Dharma. Wow, that was a lot of damage. Okay. Let's try that again. Did this fight like 6 times in a row consecutively right before I went live, so. Of course it goes wrong here. You can see though a death is not terribly costly. Gonna go ahead and heal. Just I'm a little bit low on health. Okay, perfect. Okay. A death in this game is not terribly costly, thankfully. You can just retry the fight after a certain point. I believe after the bear that you saw earlier, and 113 is a very, very fast, clean fight there. So, okay. So with that, we are now done with that particular partner. I'm going to be swapping over to what is most people's favorite partner, including mine, and probably one of the coolest characters in any video game. He also just so happens to have one of the coolest villains in this segment as well. Let's be practice 8. Yes. However, for this first fight, again, relatively simple early boss to kind of get you used to the new partner. This is a Rhino, and his main gimmick is that if he's facing you, you can't damage him. So you have to kind of work your way behind him for as much of the fight as possible.
So Zeta slow.
So, yeah. Those are two of people's favorite characters in the run by far. Joshua and Sho are just really cool. So, my first partner, Shiki, fought using a cat that she sewed together herself. Joshua, on the other hand, uses telekinesis and drops objects on them.
Don't make this worse for yourself. I got this. Yeah. This is nothing. I got this. Yeah. This is nothing. I got this. I can. This is nothing. What? This is nothing. Be careful. Go away. I got this. That'll do.
Again, pretty early boss, with that, and you can see that puck passing strategy is extremely effective right now. Okay, so something a little bit different right here. This is my 10-pin slammer practice save. You have to win this minigame one time to get a specific item called 10-pin thrift that halves our health at the start of every fight, but also gives double experience. And actually, we use the halving health to increase our damage output later on. So, really cool little combination. But this would be an incentive in the middle of the run, would be to having each of these different pins has a different ability. It's kind of a rock, paper, scissors element. So when player versus player there's actually a good amount of metagaming and stuff that can go on, but for there it's just, against the CPU you can just spam an attack and get it. Okay, swap out again. This will be show, so the next one needs to be practice 10.
Suggestion, but never reveal his name. Rip our soul, taken as a good one, but nobody knows who wrote it. Few lies with the sentence line, anonymity annoying me all the time.
Let me make sure my pins are correct, just in case here. Yep, looks good. So this is most people's favorite boss fight in the game, or at least as far as who you're fighting. So this is the end of that second week when we're fighting the show. Second week is the fastest week in the run. Fewer fetch quests, and the days themselves are just very short for the most part. So at this point, we've got our slapshot setup going at full effect. The slapshot setup is essentially our pins are going to be moving very quickly back and forth, and we are mostly focusing on hitting our finishers with that puck. We have the most powerful type of pin with this setup, which is called a burst round pin. And we're going to be using that and doing very large amounts of damage. At a 5 times hit with this, it'll do 500 damage. And by comparison, most other attacks will do 20 or so. The only downside is that burst rounds are a little bit slow to start, and they can be kind of finicky because you can get locked into the startup animation and never actually get the hit off. It's very weird when that happens. Okay, so you can see again, most of the big bosses have these big transformation sequences that use both screens on the DS.
Watch yourself. Inverse matrix.
This is nothing. This is nothing. See ya. What's wrong? This is nothing. See ya. This is
Inverse matrix.
This is nothing.
Any last words?
Now we're combined.
Any last words?
Now
Where's your beauty?
see ya.
Hey! Any last words?
That'll do.
Infinity! You are infinity! Any last words? Die, Radiant!
See ya.
Got locked there, which is a bit
What do
annoying.
you think?
Actually, I should have waited there, since the level up healed me. I didn't quite recognize
What's
that.
wrong? That'll do.
Any last
Go
words?
away. Now we're talking. Go away.
Any last words?
Now we're talking. Go
Any last words?
See ya.
Any last words?
See ya. Now we're talking.
Any last words?
Now
You're out of your vector. Any last words?
Now we're talking. Just die.
Any last words?
What's wrong?
And be careful.
You are done. This is nothing.
Infinity!
Got this. Follow my lead. Screw that.
Meant to use an attack, accidentally hit that pin. Not a huge deal.
This you are done. I got this. Yeah. This is I got this. This is not. That'll do. I got this. Farewell. I got it. This is nothing. You are done.
Being a bit of a troll, not going to the bottom screen where I can do the most damage.
Just die. I got this. What?
I can't be
This is
careful.
nothing. I got it. What? See ya. This is nothing. Just die.
If you go to the bottom screen now, I've never seen him stay on the top screen this long. It's quite interesting.
nothing was there. You are so satisfied. Just die. This is nothing. I got this. Go away. This is nothing. There. Just die. I got this. This is nothing. See ya.
Okay, really trolly fight. I don't know what he was doing. Normally he's supposed to go to the bottom screen unless you hit him with Neku.
Neku, do you need a break?
He never moved. That was bizarre. 228 there is pretty bad. But if you can't hit him on the bottom screen, you just can't do damage to him. Let's do that. Practice 11 goes onto this cartridge. Alright, so this is week 3. We have our third and final partner. This is, I believe, day 2. Yes, day 2. Week 3, day 2. This is a refight of that bat boss. This time you're going to see how much all of our new equipment has changed our damage output. Oh. Okay, I need to use a cure drink here. Pretty bad fight so far. Didn't keep my pin multiplier up. This fight isn't going particularly well. Looks like it's done. fight's really been pretty bad. You can see how this game has kind of a rollout effect. The worse a fight goes, the slower it gets because you lose your multiplier. Yeah, that killed. Okay. This time I'll probably get him pretty quickly. I think it's actually a fight I'm getting infected by the Japanese version now that I think about it. The strat that's used in the speedrun is nerfed a lot in the Japanese version. Yeah, because he would have been dead in the US version a long time ago. Yeah, let me try the English version and just see if that makes a difference on this fight. Again, apologies, this is me trying something. I haven't done a lot of these fights in Japanese, and I know there are version differences that would affect a speedrun. So. Me trying to save a little bit of time might have made that worse. So what they changed between the English and Japanese version, if you're wondering why that was so different, or why that might have been different, they changed what's a stat called efficiency for all pins. Efficiency is essentially how good a pin is at translating its attack power into damage on the enemy. And it's supposed to kind of make up for how hard the pin is to hit. So if you have a single slow hitting pin, it'll have a high efficiency. If there's a really quick moving, easy to use pin, it'll have a low efficiency because you're supposed to be hitting more with it. Now, what they didn't account for is the multiplier that happens when you hit them with the light puck.
You're good as gone. Get out! I got this. Come on! Dumbass! I'm digging it. Come in. I got this. I'm digging it.
You can see I'm already doing way more damage.
I'm digging it. Lane, I got this. I'm digging it.
As an FYI, these save files are completely identical.
I'm digging it. Come and get it.
So,
I'm digging it.
burst rounds must have been very heavily nerfed in the Japanese version.
Let's step it up. Any last words?
Yeah, okay. So, when you're using burst rounds, you want to use the English version. Cool.
You call that a fight?
You can see how fast that was and how much damage each hit did. Yeah, they would want me. The English version is probably the version that Limit Break would want. Again, the only reason I was switching off was to try to speed up the save file loading. Apologies for not fully testing this in advance. I did a couple of fights on the Japanese version, and it seemed close enough where I didn't realize it would make quite that big of a difference. But if one of the best pins was heavily buffed going from Japanese to English, that would definitely make the later fights much more difficult. Okay, so this is, in my opinion, the hardest fight in the game. Kariya is just an incredibly, Uzuki is just ridiculous. Okay, with Spain Hill. This is also one of my favorite cutscenes in the game. She's mad at us because she gave us a game and Beat thought it was something that it wasn't, so it was supposed to be tag. And we were going to completely ignore what she said to do and just fight him anyway. Or, like, do our own stuff. She's going to come up to us and we're going to walk up and just tap her. It's like, we win. Okay.
Watch yourself.
Don't bother.
I got this. Take this. I'm digging. Take this. Take this.
That's really bad. She's done a lot of warping,
Digging.
which has been I have not been able to pass the puck with B.
Lane, I got this. I'm digging it. I got this.
Not wanting to cooperate at all.
Be careful.
Going somewhere, going somewhere. Going
Be
somewhere.
careful.
Just wait.
I got this. No, man. We in trouble.
Drink.
Yo, man. We in trouble.
Got him. Again, you can see how when a fight starts to go poorly in this, it starts going very badly. She wasn't letting me get a finisher off with beat, which meant I couldn't pass the puck. The better you get at this game, the faster you can go because of that. It's a really cool mechanic, actually, because you can account for more different more patterns. Okay. So next we have Kariya, which is my practice save number 12. So this is her Reaper partner in the game. Funnily enough, he's supposed to be like super strong but kind of lazy. you know. But he's actually incredibly easy to kill in a speedrun, because he's usually in one of 4 places, and it's very easy to track him from the middle. And his damage output is not nearly as ridiculous as Uzuki's. That flower attack that you saw me block with Uzuki on the top screen at that one point, if I don't block that with beat, it'll do almost half of my health. And to note, you do have to pay attention to the top screen at all times to make sure that something like that doesn't happen. Let me see here. Let's dry scan to trigger this fight. After we fight him, he's actually going to partner up with Uzuki, and that's going to be the second hardest fight in the game behind just straight Uzuki. He's going to take the bottom screen, and she's going to be on the top screen, so she's actually where she can do the most damage. It would actually be a lot easier if it was the other way around, but...
Your good is gone. I'm digging it. Have some more. What a... Get out. I got this. I'm digging it. Ready to clock down. I'm digging it. Be careful. Can we call it a day? I'm digging it. Be careful.
That was a basically perfect Kariya. Your target time for that is 45 seconds. I imagine that's in the low 30s.
Never would have thought.
Yeah, 30. Beautiful fight. And again, when things go well in this game, it looks so smooth. And then when things start to go badly, it's incredibly difficult. Okay, so this is the fight with both of them. Nice little reference to the old Tootsie Pop commercial.
Your good is gone. I'm digging it. I'm digging it. What'd you get?
Okay, good early damage output.
What a pain. I'm digging it. Coming back your way. Be careful.
Oh boy.
See ya. What can we call it a day? I'm digging it. Be careful. Just warm up. Coming back. Be careful.
Wow, that's really good as well. So that fight is supposed to be, in a bad run, about a 130. That was a 30-second fight. That is borderline perfect. Kind of wish I did that in a real run. Because that is the second hardest fight in the game. Almost didn't show how hard that fight can be, to be totally honest. Alright. Pop the cartridge out again. So the next one is Berserk. It's the same fight, but they are slightly more powerful. However, we get an extra ability here that's going to actually make this fight easier for us, even though they do more damage to him. We get an ability called Safe Landing. And I'm doing a very good job of keeping up with my splits for this little mini showcase. It's alright. Now, to do this, we just have to exit and talk to them.
What's out now, man? Like it? I'm digging it.
I got it frame perfect.
Yo, man, we in trouble. I got this. Yo, man.
I'm dead. Yeah. This is actually the only boss in the game that will do those fusion arts against you.
Watch yourself. Like it? I got this.
And I'm stun locked. Bottom screen. I need to rebuild that multiplier because I lost it all there.
I'm fading.
Okay. Again, this is probably the third hardest fight in the entire run, so
You're good as gone.
I guess they're making up for the fact that they went down too easily the first time.
Be careful. Be careful.
Okay, come on.
Yo, man, we in trouble.
I just need to drink twice there.
Be careful.
Yeah. Fight. Bad start. Never got. Again, it's all about if you can get those pot passes or not. And I have not. I've had trouble getting it opening with B.
Get out. I got be careful. I'm digging it. Get out. I got be careful.
Not get those finishings in. Come on. B. Thank you.
I'm digging it. I'm digging it. Come on. I got this. I'm digging it. Be careful.
This is bad. Right back at him, come on. Ugh. Not often that Berserk Uzuki and Kariya troll you that hard.
I got this.
103. So that's the bare minimum for an acceptable time, but obviously with the 2 deaths, it was pretty bad. It's easily... Those are probably the 4 fights you work on the most before doing runs, since there's the most that can go wrong during them. Finding openings to get those attacks in is sometimes just tricky. Alright, and we have only 2 more saves left to load and 4 more fights. So this one is the week 3 big boss. I forget her exact name, but her nickname is the Iron Queen. It's actually one of the longest fights in the game. There's 4 different phases to it. One of, I believe, there's 3 multi-phase boss fights in the game, and this is one of them. It's also the only fight with more than 2 phases, and it has 4.
So Zeta slow.
What?
Huh? What?
Alright, here we go. So as you might have seen, she has shadow powers, are kind of her thing, so... This first phase, beat whales on the top screen while Noise try to get to a pit on the bottom to heal her.
I'm digging it. I'm digging it. I got this. I'm digging it.
So when she's at half health, or a little bit above it, so here's phase 2.
I'm over here. I'm over here.
I'm digging it. I'm digging it.
Yeah, champ.
I'm digging it. I'm digging it.
I'm gonna lose all my pins at the end of this round, so I need to make sure I heal up.
I'm over here. Vexatious worm.
Okay. So I'm at full health here.
Claim it if you can.
On the bottom screen, Neku just has to run through a shadow to keep from taking like a poison damage. Okay.
You will pay.
I'm digging it. I'm digging it. Be careful.
Got her. So pretty clean Iron Maiden / Konishi fight.
That was nothing.
Kind of a janky fight, trying to show off a couple different things. 2 minutes is a very good time for that fight. Oh, I'm gonna go ahead and... I could keep going here because the next save is just a little bit ahead of this, but I'm gonna go ahead and just load up the save anyway. Save just a little bit of time. PC cards. So this is the last of my practice saves. Sure. Yep, we are good.
Huh?
Huh?
So I need to equip this. That goes on over. Wanted to make triple sure. Alright, so this boss has an ability where he can stop time. We can interrupt that though by using fusion, so we're going to save all of our fusion attacks for during that. This thankfully is not the most difficult of fights. And on the top screen we're going to have Shiki fighting for him.
You're good as gone. Come on, I got this. I'm digging it. Have some more. I got this. I'm digging it. I got this.
Mitt.
Have some more. I got this.
Mitt.
I got this. Any last words? Let's step it up. Slam. Any last words? Let's have some. Any last words? To get up on there. Let's step it up. Shred thin. Any last words? Let's step it up. Shred thin. Any last words?
Now, player, we play for keeps.
Slam. Any last words? Dumbass. Any last words? Let's step it up.
Yo, right before the time be still. So this fight, if it goes really badly, is supposed to take 2 minutes and 30 seconds. That was most likely, yeah, less than a minute. If you use this time be still, your puck starts to degrade. And you just sit there waiting. Thankfully, I had exactly one fusion, and I used it right when he got his first time stop. Technically, I can't split there. I forgot to fight on my splits. So, we have to fight his evolved form. No, not yet. Need to get lightning arrestor on over. That's no. Lightning rook. Okay. So now we go on to the final area in the game. So that pin he gave us is going to be very important against the very final boss in the game. It has a worse efficiency than Rhyme, which has one of the very highest efficiencies in the game. There might be only like 1 or 2 pins that are better than it as far as that goes. But it is a multi-target, and there are targets everywhere in the final boss fight, so with how the final boss works, Lightning Rook is an insanely good pin. You'll notice we set it to a sub slot. We don't want to accidentally be using it in this fight though. So the sub slot allows you to make it where you can't use that pin unless you're holding down the L button. And if you do that, you'll see that it swaps my pin deck to having just my sub pins, and I can use those then.
Huh?
So this fight's pretty cool because this fight we're gonna start off with Shiki, and then we're gonna use Beat for the second half of it. Shiki still has all her gear from the beginning of the game, and she actually has a very high sync rate still. Sync rate affects how quickly that puck moves. It doesn't matter what you answer on these.
Yeah.
So he's going to freeze us and break our player pin, which is keeping him from controlling us so far. Little does he know that somebody planned ahead and gave us 2 player pins for some reason.
Huh?
So see, now he's going to go ahead and transform. He's going to turn into a giant dragon.
You're good as gone. I got this.
Whereas
I got this. 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 Any last words? Any last words? Any last words?
so you see again, I'm doing 500 damage. Most pins would be doing 20 damage. Just how this efficiency works.
Any last words? Any last words? Lame. I got this. I got this. I'm digging it. I got this. I'm digging it. I got this. I'm digging it. I got this. Come on. I'm digging it. Have some more. I got this. I'm digging it. Have some more. I got this. Let's step it up. Any last words? Let's step it up. Any last words? Let's come and get. Any last words?
127, that's pretty average time for that fight.
Huh? What?
So, kind of a simple fight. And then this last fight is honestly a little bit disappointing. It's really kind of janky compared to the other fights. It doesn't feel like most of the other ones until you find out how the fight actually works. Basically, he's going to capture all of our partners on the top screen. We're going to do basically no damage to him to start the fight off. Eventually, we're going to set our partners free, and they're going to allow us to pass the puck. And we're going to be able to do just insane damage very quickly thanks to a combination of the puck passing multiplier and the ability to hit multiple parts of his body at once.
You're good as gone.
So you see, we're really not doing much damage right now. Need to get him down to a little bit of health. Okay, so we freed Shiki.
Let the light save you.
The beat is on. Bring it.
I must.
We're gonna free beat. Beat's gonna let us pass the buck again. You can see we're hitting for multiple times at about 100 damage a piece.
Work for you? What do you think? Damn it.
Let the light save you.
And we're gonna end it off with one final fusion attack. So yeah, that is basically all of the major boss fights in the run done consecutively. The run, when done well, is about 5 hours and 15 minutes. In a marathon setting, I believe it's doable in about 5 hours and 20, 5 hours and 30 minutes. My estimate currently is a 5:30. That can easily come. That might come down in the future if I continue to improve at the game. The credits from here
It's done.
take about 10 minutes to get through, or 10 to 15 minutes. You probably want to go through at least this part. Since at this point we've gone through so much story, the marathon probably would want to see it. Plus, the ending theme is incredibly good.
What?
So I'm gonna let these credits play out. Thank you for considering this run, and hopefully you guys at least enjoyed it, even if the game does not make the marathon.
What?